Nitro. Trying to stop my praise. You can get it too. Devil in my way.
Welcome back to the Dr. Nahshon Nick Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nahshon Nick. I'm going to ask you to stay tapped in, tuned in, and leaned in through the entire show because we got a special guest with us. I affectionately address him as Big Chief. He's a founder of Hair Elements. Please show some love for our guest, Mr. Alan Berg.
All right. My brother. What's going on?
Well, that's what I want to ask you about. The folks, they kind of got a great idea of who I am,
Right.
but I want them to get to know you, your business, and the impact that you're making right here on the First Coast. Mr. Alan Berg, tell us a little bit about who you are and your background.
Oh, man. First of all, I'm 58 years old, so that can go a
50
long,
great.
long,
You're
yes,
50 great years old.
58 years old, so I got been a long road. I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida. Graduated from Jackson High School back in '85.
Okay, that's Main Street High
Main
School.
Main Street High School, right? That's see that? Yeah, that's Jackson.
Go ahead.
The Jackson Tigers, man. We're doing our thing.
Yes.
Yeah, after I graduated, joined the Marines.
Okay.
And I joined the Marines for a specific reason, because the Marines was the toughest, most challenging branch of all the services, and I wanted to accept that challenge because I wanted to be one of the few and the proud. But after that, I always had an entrepreneurial spirit, and so even while I was in the Marines, I got a chance to go to the Bronner Brothers show.
Okay.
Now, the brother you had here beforehand, 6 3 separation, he graduated from Jackson as well in '85, and he looked so much like my mentor.
And who is that?
Bernard Williams. Shout out to Mr. Bernard Williams. He was a great man. He owned Bernard's Beauty Supply, and it was just fascinating because he was a black man, but he owned his own company, and I would just sit under him for weeks on end, and eventually I started working for him, even though I was still in the Marines.
Okay.
Working out full time at the Marines at Blount Island, but I would work with him as well at nighttime. And he invited me to go to the Bronner Brothers show. Man, it was crazy. When I tell you, I walked in there, I'd never seen anything like that before in my life. It was like real life Wakanda. Yes, I tell you, I'd never seen anything like it before in my life. I mean, brothers dressed to nines. Bernard brother, Bernard Bronner, Cornell McBride, Mr. Dudley. These are all brothers who owned their own companies. They were CEOs of beauty care companies, and from the top down, the CEOs, the distributors, the hairstylists, the wholesalers, customers, and was at the Georgia Congressional Center, and it was about 70,000 people there.
How many?
70,000. It was packed. When I tell you what I saw, it changed my life. I was driving back down 75, thinking about what I saw. Went back to Blount Island. Bernard knew what he was doing because he was recruiting me, basically, because he wanted to have me come out work for him full time. But when I got back, I told my boss, I said, "Sir, I'm getting out." I said, "What?" Because I had the most powerful job at Blount Island, an enlisted person. I was attainment chief, was up for gunnery sergeant, at 12 years in at the time, going up for promotion. But when I saw that, it changed my life. I love the Marine Corps. I mean, I absolutely do. The Marine Corps taught me discipline, taught me resilience, the pride of belonging. But when I saw that, it did something to me.
So you left safety and security. You said you were up for promotion in the military, in the Marines, and you stepped out. With that stepping out, can you share with me the role of faith? How did faith play a role in your decision making?
Man, listen, it played a big role. It played a big role because I grew up in the church.
Okay.
My grandmother she had her own church. In our culture, faith has always played a huge role. Even if my mother didn't go to church, like the brother said before, he still made sure we went. So I got baptized at a young age, but wasn't really church going as much as most folks would be at the time. But I still understood instinctively that God was in my life and that He had His hand on me, and that faith and belief in myself was the one that made me go and make that step out.
Awesome. So Now, I did an op-ed in the Florida Star newspaper not too long ago. In the op-ed, it says, "When Black America wins, America wins." And but when it comes to startup capital to start a business, our white counterparts typically start with close to 150, I think, to 300,000, where the average black business kind of starts between 5,000 to 15. How were you even able to kind of fund your first launch or your initial step?
Good question. Thing about business in general is, you have to have an understanding of, what your skill set is. And again, start with that first step.
Okay.
It's not about starting and scaling, at that level right away. So my thing was, after I left Bernard and I wanted to start my own brand, I didn't have a lot of money.
Okay.
But as we started it, it was just, one customer at a time. I like to say that, especially for me, as an entrepreneur that primarily looks at, works with the black community, you had to have your own freshwater lake ecosystem that you operate in.
Okay.
I credit my clients over the years for allowing me to grow with them. If you develop a relationship with your clients and you give good service and good products, they'll forgive a lot of the quote unquote, bells and whistles that you may not have at the time. But just being consistent, make sure you have a good product, make sure you have good service, that will allow you to grow. And you've got to basically understand that our version of business may not be the same as the multinational type businesses. So you can't judge yourself against that. A lot of times we've got to figure out how to have multi-generational businesses. And a lot of times if you scale your business or you're trying to build it in a way that through investors or outside capital, it's not going to last long. You're going to end up selling because that's what those investors want. They want to grow, scale the business and then sell it. So we've got to look at how to keep businesses in our community long enough to build generational wealth and build an ecosystem that allows you to hire other people. To your point, we were talking about the gentleman, he said he was, if someone has 2 strikes and he's struggling to find a job,
Yes.
those are the little things we've got to do economically. The more businesses we have, whether they're, huge or not, that's more opportunities that people can hire someone.
You know what? And I thank you for bringing that back to the forefront of my attention, because the term that they use is recidivism. And what you're saying is that when the business community is strong in the black community, you can now employ people that may not be employable in other areas and segments. But if we're able to plug them into an ecosystem, you can still survive regardless of your history, because the community can help sustain you based on the business structure. And with those relationships, like you said, I think that you really hit it on a very elementary level, that like, aha. There's like an aha moment.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a quote from the book, The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. He says that if you ever teach a black man how to sell, he'll never be broke. And I guess that's kind of where your mentor, Mr. Bernard, came in, is kind of exposing you, and I'm using a bigger word instead of sell, distribution. And I'm like, man, if I could just tap into this water.
Exactly.
You know, the sky is the limit. And talk to me a little bit about a couple struggles and successes that you've had with Hair Elements.
The biggest thing is, no matter what business you do, no matter what your challenges in life, you're going to have challenges. I believe that we've got to recondition our children to understand that struggle is a part of life. And it's along the lines of, when you have that bird that's in a shell, and they said the struggle to break free is what makes them strong enough to fly. And we've got to make sure that we allow that struggle, because there are going to be times, we're talking referencing the Bible. It doesn't say that you're never going to have bad times. Build your house on a rock. so that when the storms
Go ahead,
come,
Big
not
Chief.
if,
Go ahead, Big
not
Chief.
if, you know what I'm saying,
Go
but
ahead.
when, because that's true, because they're going to come.
Yeah.
And so it depends on, and my thing is that rock sometimes has to be your mindset, you know, that, hey, you know what, I'll get through it. It's a storm, but it's not going to last always, right? So we want to make sure that we condition them. And that's, to me, that's the biggest thing that at this point in time now, my grandfather, Jack Bird Sr., just passed away. He was 97 years old, 97 years strong.
And my condolences.
Yes, well, you know what? He was a strong man. I spent a lot of time with him, and he affected me a lot positively, and just his story and his strength. And I thought about what my legacy is going to be. I took a little time off from social media and other things, just kind of really reflect on it. And when I thought about it, I really understand now that it is about the mentality. It's not necessarily about the mechanism of what business is. We got to condition the people. Shout out to you. I'm going to give you your roses. Also, I love your what you're doing with kids. I love the fact that how you're conditioning them to be strong no matter what. And that's, to me, what's most important. Shout out to you, man, for that, brother, because I really appreciate what you're doing. Every time I see you doing your thing, that's what we got to do.
Thank you. And I appreciate you coming out as well to the exhibitions, the promotion ceremonies, because I believe it takes God to raise a village, and it takes a village to raise a child. And when they're able to see folks that they may not interact with come and celebrate their promotions and their rankings, like, if we take care of them now, I believe they'll take care of us later.
Yes, I believe so.
And they'll be so much more responsible with their gifts, their talents, their resources. And I remember you. You were you're the veteran that came out to our.
Yes.
When I was 10, I remember seeing you there for us, so we're in this together.
See, my thing this here, man. I'm gonna cut you off. My thing this here, because I'm just going. I want to focus on. It's like we got to get the clay right first. You know, this business I have, it's salon exclusive. We manufacture products, a private label. We have a store in the St. John's Town Center that is a luxe store called Jones and Rose. All those things are great. My wife, Chrissy Bird, she's awesome. She just came from Martha's Vineyard, dealing with the most high-end people you could think of. But the conversations we have most at home, my wife and I, it's about us, the culture, the children. You know, what legacy are we going to leave behind? How are we going to condition them? Because we got through together because of our faith in God and our destiny. But the brother that was here before, that's what really touched me when he said that he was looking for someone to say something positive to him. That a lot of the struggles and the things that he went through, all he wanted was someone to say something, you know, that would make him feel good. When you talked about the young lady, your student, her father, although he was behind bars, the weight of his words changed her life. See, that's to me, as elders, that's our job now. Our job is to speak life into these children, to condition them to deal with these things. So mechanics are gonna happen, but I think as a culture, we've got to focus back in on making sure that the children are strong enough to deal with these things. And once they get that particular strength, then a lot of things we look at that's centering on TV and everything, it won't matter as much. And that to me is the biggest thing. You got to teach them how to deal with the storms, no matter what. And that's what you do. That's what my focus is going to be going forward. And I think that's the most important.
All right. And one of the models that I got from my father, and sometimes people see me and my wife and they think I'm the veteran, but she's the veteran.
Right.
And I call him my father. It's my stepfather. He raised me. And shout out to my father, Tommy.
Awesome.
He former Army, and my biological father is deceased. He spent a lot of time in Attica in prison as I was growing up, and my stepfather took the reins. His brother, my Uncle Cliff, he says, let me tell you something. It's like you got the brain of your father, but you got the discipline of your stepfather. And I got to give him his props because he put that military in you so strong.
Yes.
And
warrior mentality.
When you say martial arts, martial Big Chief means military.
Yes, it does.
That's what martial means,
It
military.
does. It means military, absolutely.
And one of the things that my stepfather taught me is he says, we got to shift from trying to training.
That's it. He's absolutely right.
So I had to incorporate that into my curriculum because, and I left it exactly as is. I didn't go and try to fantasize or romanticize it. We have to go from trying to training.
I'm telling you, bro.
Because that's what the book says. The book says train up a child.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
what you're saying is based on these storms. So while I unpack it, I'm going to use about 5 different things.
That's good. Be good.
All right.
I'm
But
going
when we
with
look,
you.
when we go from trying to training, whatever you repeat, you reinforce.
You reinforce, absolutely. Military.
Repetition also builds reputation.
Absolutely. Military.
Whatever you don't exercise becomes extinct.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And whatever you do.
So, and whatever you repeat, you reinforce. And our goal is to reinforce these disciplines and mechanics as you were using.
Absolutely.
To where when the storm comes, it's not necessarily going to be comfortable, but you will get through it.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point about life. It's like we're here to train. And I believe that these children now, if they, I tell people this here all the time, if we had the, hindsight, you have to be careful about hindsight. Hindsight, if looked at wrongly, can become judgment. But if it's looked at correctly, it can be wisdom. So I think about our current state as a culture and where we are. We've got to make sure that we understand that our ancestors, what they went through, pales in comparison to what, and the obstacles they had and the storms they had, pales in comparison to what we have. So we've got to do a better job just of identifying and training versus, like you said, trying and begging. And that's the thing, it's hard for me to kind of, to get with because, growing up with a single mother, very, very poor, but making the choice to join the Marines, making the choice to become an entrepreneur, and dealing with those issues and circumstances that I could have very easily went and got a job. I stayed out there. And so I know that choice is out there, but I tell people, we've got to make sure that we don't become victim. That's just my thing. I think even when we talk about race, right? I tell people all the time this here. Race may be a part of the equation, but sometimes race may be the smaller part of that equation. And your ability could be the bigger part.
Say that again?
Race can sometimes be a part of the equation, okay? But sometimes it may be the smaller part of the equation, and your ability to overcome it is the larger size.
Your ability
to overcome the larger size is larger, so it may be an issue there. So race it's not always primarily the issue, and that's kind of, I'm seeing that more and more and more. We've got to train our children to deal with situations regardless, and if we train them enough, and they have the mentality, they can look at whatever situation is, not just race, whatever it is, but say, you know what, I have the ability to overcome that. And that's the big thing that I really think we got to get back to.
I concur because it's not problem-based leadership, it's solution-based leadership.
That's it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Solution-based. I got to find a solution. And we call it mission-based.
Mission-based.
Mission-based, because guess what? In the Marines, I don't hear no excuses. Either you accomplished the mission or you didn't. Period. If I give you a task, is it done? I don't want to hear excuses as to why you couldn't do it. And that mentality will make you try harder if you know that the person that assigned a mission to you is not going to accept any excuses.
And I just want you to know, we do have 2 folks that have gone through Team Nitro MMA that are actually in the United States Marines.
Ooh, I know they're doing well. I know they're doing great.
Yes, they are. And I got a 3rd one coming up the pipe. He's going to be coming out of Reebok soon. And I'm very proud of him.
Awesome.
Terrell, Mark, I'm just so elated about their journeys and their paths because there's this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yes.
I don't know if you ever had a chance to read it.
Yes, I have. I've read the book. Yes.
By Robert Kiyosaki.
Robert Kiyosaki, yes.
Robert Kiyosaki talks about his poor dad who has a PhD. I think he's like a college professor. Then he talks about his poor dad who has a high school diploma but owns a chain of businesses. And his rich dad is saying, you need to go to college. His poor dad says, you need to go to college. His rich dad says, you need to go into the military. The poor dad is saying, you need to get an education.
Right.
The rich dad is saying you need to get leadership.
Leadership and discipline. Exactly. So those intangible things.
So, and even though he did a combination of both, his military experience is what he equates to his business success.
Yes.
And then he breaks it down into like cash flow quadrant, EBSI, employee, business owner, self-employed, and investor. And anyway, so when I'm listening to you talk, it's totally different culture.
Yes.
But it's the same principles.
Same principles. I've heard someone say the other day, I was looking, they were saying that there were 3 sciences that quote unquote when we were free that they didn't want us to learn. And one of them was military science. I mean, I can we have the Marine Corps, it's called it's in my head. It's called SMEAC.
Okay.
SMEAC.
Not SLAC.
No, SMEAC. SMEAC. Not snack. It's like SMEAC. SMEAC. It's a 5-paragraph order.
Okay.
Okay. And it's how the military decides to take on a particular mission.
Okay.
Now, SMEAC is an acronym. It stands for situation, mission, execution, administration and logistics, and command and signal. If you write those 5 things, those acronyms down, and think about whatever your problem is, whatever you got to do, and you divvy that up. First of all, you got to find out what the situation is. Okay, what are we dealing with?
Okay.
Okay. It could be X, Y, Z. Okay. Well, what's the mission? Well, the mission is to win or do X, Y, and Z. Okay. Well, how are you going to do the mission? That's the execution part. Well, how are we going to execute the mission? Well, we got to figure out how we're going to be talking to each other. We got to figure out the logistics that we need to get there. And then, command and signal. How are we going to communicate through that? That's military science. These are things that you learn in military. And then you put that, I was also a Marine Corps recruiter. Very good one, I might add. So when you say you put 2 guys in the Marines, I know their mentality and I know why they joined the Marine. For services. And the thing that makes the Marine unique and why I chose it, when I was a recruiter, we had these things we call benefit tags, about 12 tags. So 7 of them were like tangible benefits, vacation, health care, leave, and pay. But then you had these 4 other tags that we call them intangible benefits. Okay, and the tangible benefits were courage, pride of belonging, self-discipline, self-reliance. That was in here. And so what we would do, would you take the tags and you kind of swirl them up and everything, and the kids sit across from me and say, okay, Johnny, these are our tags here. Pick 3 of the most important things that you feel you need in life. And I'm sitting back. I'm looking. All right, let's see what we're going to pick. All right, he pick.
Pay.
Pay.
I was right there.
He picked pay. He picked leave. He picked one tag that say, okay, courage. My mind, I got him. That's an intangible thing. That's something money can't buy. That's a character thing. That's something he wants inside. So all that stuff, pay and all that stuff, I put them tags aside. I'm just talking about one thing and one thing only. How the Marine Corps will give him courage. How Marine Corps will give him self-discipline. And those intangible things are the things that make us different. Those things that are character building. And those are the things that I focus most on. And that's what's guided me through my whole career, my whole life. Those are things that we can look at.
Yes, and I got to shout out Monty as well. He's in JROTC right now. Doing his thing. I don't know if you know Pat McCullough, but Sergeant Major in the United States.
I meet her.
She is phenomenal. She just had a birthday.
I can't wait to meet her. Yeah, I saw that.
She, like I said, for a guy that never served in the military, you would think I have because I just honor and respect.
Yes.
I don't care if a police officer, firefighter, if you're when it comes to fight, flight, freeze, froze, and you choose to fight.
Yes.
I recognize that courage.
Yes.
Thank you for putting yourself on the line to protect all of us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Some people look at it as a Pareto rule or the Pareto theory, which is 20% of the people or 10% of the people do the work,
yes.
and the
80%,
80
yes.
to 90% reap the rewards of what the 10 to 20% do. So thank you to all of our servicemen and women. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Another thing that, so with the martial arts and the curriculum, I'm just sharing this with you.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
The curriculum is silting.
Yes, I love that.
All right,
But
all right.
hey, check it out. I love it. But you know, we got a little silver, a rivalry thing. I like it. I love it. I love it.
And Jacksonville is a Navy town.
It is.
It's a regional hub as well. I think it's like the third largest military presence in the nation. And at least the lower 48 is like the largest, third largest from Norfolk, San Diego, Jacksonville.
Right.
And so tying into the local theme for understanding the SEAL team as far as the curriculum, but the Navy SEAL stands for sea, air, and land.
Yes, it does.
Our SEAL stands for social, emotional, academic, leadership. So
I love that.
So some people call it SEL, social emotional learning. But social emotional learning doesn't always translate into leadership.
Leadership. You gotta be able to lead yourself before you can lead anybody else.
So our affirmation with the children, if I ask any of our children from 5 to 18, finish this for me. Lead by example.
You're building warriors, and that's the thing we've got to do. Got to build warriors.
And but listen to you, Pastor Michael Williams. If you met him, he said, "I've only worked for the best." I said, "Well, what do you mean by that, Pastor Michael?" He said, "Well, I was a United States Marine."
Hoorah.
So for his 60th birthday, it's a replica of the sword that they have in the Marines.
Yeah.
It's a Monoluk or something.
NCO sword. Yeah, they're talking about. I got one in my office now.
Okay.
Still got one in my office.
So
you go in my office now. I got all my Marine Corps stuff. You think I love me wall? I do have that there. That's just how we do.
But on the sword, I had inscribed, "There's many professors, but very few fathers." It's a Bible verse.
I like that.
So the second company that he worked for when he left the Marines is Publix.
Okay, that's a good company too.
So he said, "I only work for the best." He said,
You got a point.
"I was part of the few and the proud."
Yeah, few and the proud.
And then I was shopping.
Shop with the pleasure. You'll say, listen. Hey, I tell my wife, we talk about all the time. I still like Winn-Dixie, but when I go to Publix, because shopping's a pleasure. It ain't cheap, but they say it's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, right.
We are wrapping close to the end of time.
Okay.
Do you have any closing thoughts? You did kind of share where you want to go as far as you and your wife, your business, your family is shifted on legacy right now.
Yes.
But is there any shameless plugs you want to put out there for Hair Elements, for distribution purposes, because I want to know how we can make Jacksonville like the Bronner Brothers of the South when it comes to distribution, when it comes to a regional hub. I mean, it doesn't have to be in this segment because of time, but that is one of my passions, is that Jacksonville is the first coast for the reason. And I believe the first coast should be the trendsetter for the nation.
Yes.
And we're a regional hub when it comes to United States military presence. I want us to be a regional hub for distribution as well.
Yeah, I agree.
There's two roads that intersect.
Absolutely.
One takes you from Canada to Key West. Another one takes you from Los Angeles to it takes you from the
San
Pacific,
Diego.
Yeah, from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean. And they both intersect right here in Duval. We're a foreign trade zone.
Yes.
We had an international airport that doesn't fly anywhere internationally. We got railway, highway, waterway.
Yeah, we do.
So how do we make this happen in this city? And that's and looking at a product, like I said, like Hair Elements, I feel like that's just one of many that could be mass produced and distributed on a global scale. But any closing thoughts that you have or closing words?
Well, Jacksonville it's a great city for logistics. I have traveled that exact road in 1992 when I went to recruit duty school in San Diego. About 27 years old. I drove from Jacksonville on I-10 and just go west, young man, go west. I went from Atlantic Ocean and drove all the way to San Diego. to recruiting to the school. So I do know that that road. It's a long time. Texas, it's crazy. I drove all day long. We're still in Texas. So
All day long?
All day long. I refused to stop until I got over the border in Las Cruces about 3 o'clock that morning. But I drove all day, almost 100 miles an hour, and still was in Texas. That's crazy.
All right, I'm not going to tell anybody else this story. This is
Yes.
between us. Keep going.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. So, but I couldn't believe it. But so yes, Jacksonville is an excellent pub. I think that our mission is to make sure that we continue to grow. And again, I'm happy to come back another time and expand more into the actual logistics type stuff and everything. But we do make our own products, so the opportunity for us to grow nationally is definitely here. On our Jones and Rose side, because Hair Elements is a salon exclusive product that we manufacture for the salon market. Our Jones and Rose brand, that's a different model. That's I guess a manufacturing to retail model, and we literally have a store, and everything in there we make.
Okay.
And so.
And that's in the St. John's Town Center.
St. John's Town Center, right next to Kilwins and P.F. Chang's. When you walk into the store, everything in there we make, other than the African bags. But all the products we make, and it was important for me to make that shift back in 2004 with my wife. I told her that we're gonna stay in this game. We learn how to make our own products. Because if we own the masters per se, then we own the formulas and we can sell those, and that's how we got into private labeling. Because I own the formulas, I can now sell it to everybody.
Yes. We got to do a round 2 of this.
Yes.
To our listening audience, to our viewing audience, thank you for saying tapped in, tuned in, leaned in to today's episode. I told you it was going to be a pleasure. And at the same time, I haven't had a chance to share this phrase with you all, but I want to make this a norm. Knowledge is power. Knowledge of self is powerful. But knowledge of God is the source of all power.
Amen.
I love you. God bless you. And thank you for tuning in to the Dr. Nahshon Nick Show.